Become a premium member on RealCatholicTV.com today. Not only will you learn about the one true faith, just think of all the new friends you'll make.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. The color of Obama money. Abortions for $1. It's the latest policy discovered in Obamacare as the most pro-death administration in the history of the United States flushes red with the blood of the unborn on its hands. Life News was informed of the measure by a source on Capitol Hill, which sidesteps the Hyde Amendment legislation with an accounting trick. But Obama's signature law, known as the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, will provide for, quote, taxpayer funding of insurance coverage that includes elective abortion, end quote. The accounting trick involves two $1 a month payments for a woman's abortion. This news comes as Obama has shown that he is willing to disregard the health of millions of American citizens to keep the abortion industry growing, as he pulls federal Medicaid funding from Texas for not supporting America's abortion giant, Planned Parenthood. More Planned Parenthood scandals. The CEO of a Planned Parenthood location in Lubbock, Texas, has been arrested for exposing himself in public at a local baseball park. Media was not able to get a statement from the perpetrator, Anthony Ray Thornton, and Planned Parenthood has not yet come forward with a statement, but it has been learned that Thornton was released on bond after being arrested by local police earlier this week. Thornton's arrest comes only days after he talked to the media about Texas government's decision to cut funding for Planned Parenthood, insisting at a pro-death rally that the cuts will make unintended pregnancies rise. It is interesting to note that 13 Planned Parenthood centers have closed in the Lone Star State over the past 8 months since the legislative session ended that decided to defund Planned Parenthood. Democratic desecration. The image of Obama's face on the American flag flying over a Democratic headquarters location has enraged Florida war veterans who banded together this week to give local liberals a lesson in respecting Old Glory. Lake County Democrats flew an American flag with Obama's face in the field of blue over their building, to which Jim Bradford, a 71-year-old veteran from the Bay of Pigs incident, says, quote, to put someone's picture there, to me, it's a disgrace to do that, end quote. He distributed a photo of the flag to veteran buddies of his, and the group of them went down to the building to deliver a copy of the federal flag code to Nancy Hurlburt, the chairwoman of the local Democratic Party. After a heated discussion, Hurlburt took down the flag, but with no guarantees that she would not try to fly it again. She expressed she will be contacting an attorney, saying of the American war veterans, quote, certain elements cannot accept Barack Obama as president. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Christian death sentence. The situation of an imprisoned woman in Pakistan, sentenced to death for allegedly blaspheming Islam, is provoking demands for her release. The woman, Asia Bibi, is the 42-year-old mother of 5 children and spent her 3rd Christmas in prison last December, the first Christian woman sentenced to death under the country's extremist blasphemy laws. At the United Nations Human Rights Council, a French journalist by the name of Anne-Isabelle Tollet urged Pakistani government to release Bibi, as 50 human rights advocates from around the world presented a petition for her release. Pakistan's representative did not even bother using a right of reply to respond to the presentation. Asia Bibi was incarcerated and accused of blasphemy after she was told that she contaminated the water from a community well by drinking from it because she is Christian. Catholic yoga controversy. The Archdiocese of Boston in Massachusetts is firing up controversy as it now will offer yoga classes on Catholic Church property at its pastoral center. The argument over whether or not it is morally wrong to practice yoga as a fitness exercise is pretty common, and here are some thoughts to help you out. Pope Benedict XVI wrote about yoga and similar Eastern practices in 1999, saying it could, quote, degenerate into a cult of the body that edged out, quote, the authentic consolations of the Holy Spirit. Wikipedia says the whole point of the practice of yoga is, quote, the attainment of a state of perfect spiritual insight and tranquility while meditating on the Hindu concept of divinity or Brahma, end quote. It should also be noted, a former chief exorcist of the Vatican for years, Father Gabriel Amorth, calls yoga satanic because it leads to a worship of Hinduism. You can read more on the subject of yoga and learn about why it shouldn't be condoned by shepherds of the Catholic Church on our resource page. Just click on the link right outside the screen. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. Also be sure to check out The Vortex, where Michael talks about fathers. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.